What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Bland back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast. Coming to you guys live another beautiful Saturday afternoon. Just want to say thank you guys for joining us once again. Okay, so no special guest today, guys, but it's going to be a lit show any damn way. You guys know what we do here. We got some of the best gamers here in the Xbox community, just in the gaming community overall. So I'm going to let them speak for themselves. We'll go ahead and start with you, the Wonder Boy Zalker. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, man. What you been up to?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, you guys can find me at Twitter, obviously, Shocked87, my YouTube channel, Zalker87, and I have been knee-deep in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I beat the game. I have over 800 achievement points. I'm going to try to 1,000 this bitch.
Nice. Yeah, I know you've been all over that bad boy, man. You've been in the cave. I know we were talking about Fuzzy being that way with Forza. You done fucking went MIA.
I have no idea what happened to me, man. I don't know. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. And
I thought I saw you on Billboard at Walmart.
Are you sure I wasn't trying to get some fucking cocaine to stay up longer to fucking play it? That's literally what it was like.
I don't know. I was like, that guy looks familiar. I know that game. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and bounce it right on to you. What's up, Forte? How you doing today, man? Let everybody know where they can find you, G.
Yo, gaming_Forte on Twitter, Gaming Forte on YouTube as usual, and definitely still been playing that Destiny, getting that grind out the way. And I actually am about halfway through Spider-Man, so that has been my last week because I am preparing to get on a boat tomorrow, well Monday, and not be here for a week.
Oh wow, okay. Well, whatever trip that is, you be safe, brother. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
Cool. And Mr. Unassuming Fuzzy, man, what's going on with you, man? Let everybody know that you can find you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Fuzzy Belvedere here. You can find me on Twitter, Xbox Live, or PSN, either Fuzzy Space Belvedere or Fuzzy_Belvedere. Trying to wrap up Forza before the big Red Dead Redemption coming next week. So let's talk some games.
Let's get it. So once again, chat, every time I ask you guys a question or ask the panel a question, it is also for you guys. And if it's your first time here, please drop a like on the video as you file in here, guys. Say hi as you file in the chat as well, man. So just have fun with it, man. Let's go ahead and dive right the fuck in. So first topic today, we're going to be talking some Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and its huge success and the launch of the game. Now, we have been talking about this game. The demo came out, or beta came out essentially. I played it. I loved it. And we talked about, well, what its impact is going to be? How big is it going to, how big is it actually going to be? So were you guys at all surprised about the launch and how big it actually was? So we're going to go ahead and start with you, Fuzzy. What do you think about that? Was that expected for you, or was that kind of...
I thought it was going to do very, very well considering it's a Call of Duty and stuff, but I wasn't expecting them to like at least make mention of some of like the digital numbers and things like that. So glad to see it's doing well. Still going to hold off until there's a sale, but seeing a lot of my friends and a lot of you guys up there playing it and having fun. So it's definitely tempting, but it's great to see that it's doing well. And if anybody was going to knock Fortnite off of any type of pedestal, I figured these would be the guys that get it. And, you know, not there yet, but, you know, it's probably not too far off.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Not a problem, man. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that as well. I didn't really know what it actually was going to do. I mean, I knew the game was fantastic. I knew it was going to put a dent in that, that whole, Fortnite market with PUBG. Just because how I felt about the game after I played the beta. So let's go ahead and bounce this over to you, Zalker. What do you think? I mean, was that expected? I think you were one of the people who mentioned it was going to be pretty big. So was that kind of expected from you?
Yeah, I'm actually more surprised because I thought the game looked cool, but it just wasn't something that interests me too much. And then as time went on and I played the beta, I really enjoyed it. And I was like, man, and I like the blackout mode mainly.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this is really good. This is really smooth. And then I just, saw the pre-order. I saw people getting it. My buddy, I got it through GameShare through my buddy, and he's freaking loving it. And we play together. We have, we're trying to get 10 wins. We got like 7. But it's just a really good game. And the thing that I'm going to hold an L on is that it really, like I said, the servers might not handle well in the blackout in the beginning, but it's been super smooth. And like I've had maybe one problem where I disconnected, or maybe two in all my hours playing. So I'm not shocked that this game is doing well. I think a lot of people didn't like what they saw in Battlefield, and I think the marketing for EA was really bad, and that was the main competition.
Yeah.
And then it got pushed to November. So this is the only shooter out right now that like people are playing. So I knew it was going to do well.
And we also have not seen any Ring of Fire gameplay as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that's ready.
Yeah, I don't see that. That's the thing. I don't know why they're holding on to it. I mean, the game is what, next month?
It's a month away exactly.
Next month. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with that. So we don't have anything to directly compare it to. I got a feeling that Ring of Fire is actually going to be pretty fucking awesome. But I mean, I don't know. You may feel different about that.
I hope it is. Because I like Battlefield. I like destructible environments. I want to see what Battlefield can do with it. But with the destructible environment, that's really hard to do with 100 people on screen, right? And
I mean, they were doing so. I mean, what was the max ground war on PC? What, like 32 or 32? I think in Battlefield.
It was
64
or 64 total.
64 on 64.
64 on 64 on PC, but that's on PC.
Console too.
Oh, did they get it to console that number?
It started with Battlefield 4.
Right?
Battlefield 4 started 64 on 64.
God, I love those modes.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
So I mean, it's there. They can do it, right?
I mean, we'll see because EA has not been hitting shit out of the park, right? They're not Ubisoft right now. Ubisoft's killing it. These guys are not. These guys have actually been, having trouble. And I don't know if you guys saw the story, but a lot of DICE employees actually left. Like people that were there for like 10 years left, like over 50 like high-end
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like a lot of people left to competing companies. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think Call of Duty just hit the right time, hit the right genre with the Battle Royale, and you can't falter that, man. They did what they had to do. They executed it, and they killed it, and they knew they had to.
Yeah, I think, and like I said, last year, Battlefield Super Duper. Well, Battlefield when that came out, Battlefield 1 came out. It benefited from the fact that remember when that Call of Duty what Infinite Warfare trailer came out, it was like the most disliked fucking video on YouTube ever.
Oh, Infinity War or whatever.
Yeah, Battlefield benefited from Call of Duty taking a big kind of like stumble at the time, and it didn't. It's not benefiting from that this time around, because people have that blackout and they look forward to it. They got the beta and everybody was excited about it. So it seems like Call of Duty is back where it's supposed to be. So Forte, man, what do you think, man? What's your opinion on that?
Me personally, I played on PS4 because I share it with one of my friends over there, and I have 3 solos on that game, wins in blackout mode, and 2 squad ones. Man, that game is freaking amazing. It's super fun. Can't wait to get back in there and play more. The only thing about that game that just doesn't jive with me as much is I'm more of a Battlefield person, and I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 5 and what they can do. I could pretty much give or take what the era that they're doing because I really want them to go back to modern times with it. And I think that would be the one thing that probably hurts the Battlefield 5 more than anything because Call of Duty kind of went, semi back to, modern times with their game. And that's what a lot of people want. And I think that and they hit the sweet spot. Right now there's no other shooters really out there to play. The only other thing that's in shooter relations is Destiny. And that came out in September. So people are looking for something, a little bit new. Call of Duty actually picked the right time to bring their game out. I think a lot of people were wondering why the game came out a month earlier than it normally does, because normally Call of Duty comes out the first or second week of November.
Yep.
And I think they just, they hit everything out of the park with this one. And the fact that you got really big streamers streaming this game, and let's be honest, that does a game more good than just media talking about it. People seeing other people playing the game, seeing these big, gigantic streamers. You got Ninja putting down Fortnite to play play Call of Duty. So I think that they are heading in the right direction. It really depends on what they do with iterating on the map and stuff. I don't know if they're going to bring new maps or if they're just going to do what Fortnite does and just change over the existing map over time. what the new maps and stuff is going to look like through the multiplayer mode. And honestly, the zombie modes are really, really fun just because I don't even think they just released the Easter eggs for some of the zombie modes, and nobody's figured them out yet. So there's a lot of different things going on with that game that is going to be real interesting going forward. But I'm just really interested to see what's going to happen on November 20th when that game, Battlefield 5, drops and what their version of Battle Royale is going to do, because they do have a single player, which I don't know why they're not hyping that up a little bit more. They did release a story trailer like they did for Battlefield 1. I think the story trailer this time around isn't as impactful as the one that they showed last year. Like you said, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that that Call of Duty was by far the worst hated trailer ever.
That was terrible.
And Battlefield actually just benefited from that. So having a single player, having a Battle Royale mode that they're not showing, which I don't know why, is the only thing that I'm down on that game about. But we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. If Call of Duty continues to keep climbing, because I think Call of Duty is going to sell throughout the rest of the year. And Red Dead Redemption is going to be right there. So I really just don't know how many people are going to have time to play Battlefield as when that comes out.
No, that's a good point. I think everything at this point, we're so close to Red Dead that I think everything is going to kind of go dark. We're not going to see as many announcements. People are not going to be really talking about as much because that game is like a fucking nuclear bomb. You don't want to be anywhere near it when it drops. So I think that's pretty much going to be for at least all the way through the Christmas holiday season. You know, you're going to get your Smash Bros, which is another huge game that's going to take a lot of people's time up as well during the holidays. So, yeah, great topic, man. Great first topic. So once again, chat, if it's your first time here, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to your boy. I'm going to put all of these gentlemen's Twitters in the link, Twitters down in the description as well. Please follow these guys on Twitter. So next topic, you guys know I always like to throw a little wrinkle in. So we're talking about, does it matter if the PS5 comes out first or not? Because this is something that we've been kind of going back and forth about. We've never formally talked about this, but I think we've all been kind of thinking about it. Whether or not there's reports that maybe the PS5 is coming next year. Does it really matter if the next Xbox comes before it or after? So let's go ahead and start with you, Forte, since you finished it off. Do you think that's a big deal, or what's your opinion on that?
I used to be one of those people that thought it was a really big deal because we all harken back to what happened in 2006 when Xbox had that 1 year lead and had 11 million system lead going into the PS3 launching, and then the debacle that system had with the launch. I think that's the only reason that Xbox 360 was considered to be the system that won that generation, even though PlayStation 3 did catch up and pass them in the end. It's just that games were being developed for that system. They ran better on that system. It had more of a mind share during that time. Now I don't think I don't think Xbox needs to come out first. It would be good if they came out first. It would be even better if they came out at the same time. But the thing with PlayStation is, I think I'm just ready for the next system to come out. I don't know why that really is, because I really don't feel. I think it's just the fact that the PlayStation 4 Pro wasn't the biggest leap that a lot of people thought it should have been compared to the Xbox One X. You're comparing that system to the original base Xbox. It's like, night and day compared to God of War on a base PS4 looked amazing, and it really didn't look that much better on a PS4 Pro. So I just think that they'll benefit a little bit more from that. And honestly, I just think people nowadays are just used to sticking with certain ecosystems and stuff. Depending on where the marketing goes for these games is going to be the one thing that's going to hinder or help Microsoft. If PlayStation can get the exclusive content again for Call of Duty, if they can nail down DLC for Destiny, if they can continue to keep doing the things they did during the PS4 era with these third-party games, then you will probably going to say Xbox needed to get out the door first, because if they could get out the door first, even if PlayStation had these exclusives, Xbox is going to have more mindshare just because they came out the door first. But if Microsoft can tie down some of these third-party exclusives like they did during the 8th gen with 360 and PS3, then I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Because, the biggest thing, Microsoft will never be as big as Sony when it comes to console sales and everything like that, just because they're not in every territory, where PlayStation sells everywhere. And then the last thing is, Microsoft is a software company. PlayStation's a hardware company. PlayStation is making their hardware to basically push their games, where Microsoft is building a software platform, especially with this cloud gaming service that they're doing now. They're pushing software to sell their games, their goods, basically like that. So no one really knows how much skin Microsoft is really going to put into forcing a new Xbox down everybody's throat before 2020. I just think Sony's going to do it in 2019. If we see basically like they did last time, they did a technical analysis in February. If they do something like that in February of this year before E3, you will see PS5 at the end of the year because they will show it. If you don't see anything before E3, then you're going to see both these systems launch in 2020.
Okay, no, that's a pretty damn fair assessment. So let's go ahead and bounce this over to you, Zocker, man. What do you think, man? What do you think Xbox has to come out first? How big of a deal do you think that is?
I mean, I don't even know how you follow up Forte, man. He kind of hit everything out the park right there, dude. Like he just touched up on everything. I'm just like, huh, shit. No, I don't know if they have to come out first, but I do think they need to show the investment, which they have already, right? By getting all these studios. And that's the number one thing. I think that Xbox is extremely confident. If you listen to the executives, you listen to everybody, they're super confident. So I really do think that they're going to, even if it comes out, they come out 2020, both of them, I think Xbox is going to hold the power because they're never going to want to lose that again. I think if Sony comes out next year, I think, again, Xbox is going to have the power either way. But the thing that matters is if they're going to have the infrastructure and the software and the games and the services to combat what PlayStation's doing. And that's all they have to do. That's what they need to do. And it's promising that they're doing XO. It's promising that they're going to have E3. It's promising that they're not holding things back and kind of opening up their wallet and showing the fans what they're doing. And that's the big thing that they need to do. I think Sony, I mean, they said they're hunkering down for the next 3 years, right? That's 2021. So I don't know what they have in store. They literally have 3 games left that they announced, right? Death Stranding, Days Gone, and
The Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us.
4 games then. Days Gone, Last of Us, whatever. The Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, the Ghost. I forgot the Ghost of Tsushima name. I was like freaking drawing a blank. But yeah, those games, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they're not, unless they start announcing some crazy stuff way in advance, which I don't think they're going to try to do. I don't see how it really matters to Microsoft. I think Microsoft is kind of playing their own game and just like, you know what, we're going to follow suit of what we do, and we're going to show our fans what we do, and we're going to buy studios, we're going to try to get games out, and we're going to basically shut up until we can show out. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I think that the fact that they went out and been so aggressive recently as far as like what they've been doing with the studio acquisitions and just gearing up, I think we're really in line to see some special shit coming out like early with this next generation. I think we're going to see some like a massive game lineup, a big shakeup in the industry on both sides of the ball, because I mean, it's good for both sides. I mean, honestly, Sony pushes Microsoft, Xbox pushes Sony, so we all get to benefit from that at the end of the day. So Fuzz, what do you think, man? You think that's important that Xbox come out first, or what's your opinion on that?
I used to think that Xbox would have to come out first to kind of get that mind share a little early and get consoles in people's hands and stuff. But with all the studios that they have and the lineup of games that they're probably going to have at the launch of the generation, I think that's going to be a strong enough draw to hopefully win people over. But I guess the big thing I'm looking at is as far as Sony, they're going to have to like kind of tap dance or figure out an acceptable way to explain how Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima are going to be like cross-generation games. Like right now, the way they're posing it, these are just going to be on PS4 and PS4 Pro. And a lot of people are going to probably make fun of or laugh at if a PS5 version of that game is like a remaster, let's say. But if these games are going to already be on disc where all the info for, like, let's say the PS5 is on that same disc, they're going to have to figure out a nice way to not piss off those that aren't ready for the PS5 and hope that these games have all of the features that the PS5 will have, yet still appeal to those that are ready to get that PS5 without feeling like they're wasting money. Well, not really wasting money, but jumping early just to get, a few extra features or a few extra modes or something along those lines. So I think right now PS5 can, beat Xbox to the launch as far as the 2019 and Xbox come out 2020. My gut's kind of telling me, although even though they just recently said that streaming box is going to be a little bit late, I would have thought that streaming box would be a perfect thing. Like, since it's already technically functioning and been tested, if they could have found a way to make it possible to release for this holiday, but that doesn't look like that's going to be the case by any means. So if they have the streaming box come 2019 and the full-fledged, stationary console come 2020, and it's got the power, it's got the memory, it's got the upgraded chipset and everything, I think that would be the done deal to, lure a lot of people over to Xbox, especially with having, what do we have now, about probably at that point or after the 10th of November, we're going to probably have like 10 plus studios that are making games. So yeah, I don't think it's as necessary as it used to be for Xbox to kind of beat them to the punch now.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of changed in a lot of ways for a lot of us, because I was on that side as well. Like, man, does it really matter? Because early on, I felt like they have to, just because of the way this generation started and how Sony's been able to control the entire narratives. And like, you guys are right. So it's just a fact that Sony does better in more places. Like, that is just a fact. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. I thought that was that big of a deal early on, but now the more you think about what they're doing, the fact that they're being so aggressive this late in the generation kind of shows you that they do have a long-term plan. So I'm really excited about what they got coming up. So moving on to the next topic. So we were just talking about Days Gone for a quick second. We're going to dive right into that. So we just got some news this week about Days Gone being delayed. I think back to April 26th, I believe it was. It got pushed back to April.
Yeah.
And so I want to get you guys' opinion on why that is, and you guys think that's a positive or negative thing from Days Gone. So I want to go ahead and start with you, Fuzzy, because you ended off the last one. I know you were looking forward to Days Gone. You talked about this like weeks and weeks ago on the podcast. So what do you think? Are you?
I've been watching some of the replays and things like that, or the hour-long things, and I know Zaka had talked about this before, and even Forte had talked about this before, as far as some of the gameplay looked like it needed some more polish to it. So it's a good thing that they're pushing it back, as opposed to this being one of their exclusives that comes out somewhat broken. They don't need any more, Drive Club type situations with it. So pushing it back, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I was hoping to get the game, although to be honest, I probably wouldn't have gotten around to it for like a month or so, because I would have hit Anthem up first. And then depending on scheduling, I would have probably did Crackdown next, because I figured Crackdown 3 is going to probably be a quicker game to at least get through the story part of it, and then hit Days Gone with the endless zombie hordes and stuff. But them delaying it, it's for the best. I mean, unless there's something that's like unable to be fixed at all, which I don't think that's the case, they would have pushed it further than April if they knew that there was something beyond, repair type of thing. But just the timing, other games coming out, what better way to give it its own little shine than to, just push it back a little bit, get it out of the way of Anthem, get it out of the way of Division 2, and let it breathe on its own in April.
Yeah, that's not actually, in hindsight, when you really think about it, that's not a bad idea. They did that with was it Bloodborne they pushed back when it was supposed to come out? I think they moved it a little bit. I don't remember if Bloodborne came out on time or not, but I think they've traditionally dropped games during that time of year, March, April. So I'm not really surprised at that time window. So yeah, Forte, what do you think, man? What do you think about the Days Gone being pushed back?
Oh man, so I actually recorded a video to go up later today talking about that, and basically just going over the fact that I understand that people get upset and really just don't like when the game gets delayed because they might have been looking forward to it. Like Fuzzy, I know he didn't want Days Gone to get delayed, but does it really matter? I really think people just need to like calm down on something like that. I think about some of the best games that came out in the last 2 generations that have been delayed. I mean, think about it. Grand Theft Auto 5 got delayed twice. Did that change the fact that game isn't as good as it was when it first came out?
Well, let's not act like that's a normal game.
Oh no, but still, it's still a game that got delayed twice. Let's talk about Red Dead Redemption. It was supposed to come out last year. It also got delayed. Uncharted 4 that got delayed out of the year that it was supposed to come out. It got delayed by 6 months, so it came out ended up coming out in the summer, like close to almost the summertime. So delays happen on all types of games. The problem is, I just think this community that we call home, when it comes to delays, it's all about the fanboy war and people just communicating back and forth about, oh, your game got delayed, and now everybody wants to talk about how Crackdown got delayed, and now they're trying to shoot back and say this game got delayed when it's 2 different things. Me personally, I just believe as long as the game is good in the end, the game that I put in my system or download to my hard disk, as long as that game is exceptional and is what I want it to be, I am fine with a delay. Even if the game doesn't live up to my expectations, I'm still good with delays because, trust me, these people that make these games, they don't want to work longer and harder than they have to on these games. I was listening to the Scumcast earlier, and Zocker said some really good things talking about the crunch. Do you think people want to crunch longer than they need to crunch on a game?
Hell nah.
They don't want to. There's already a bad thing in the industry right now. It's already got this bad stigma about how much people are working. So trust me, if these people didn't feel like this game needed this extra work, or something in the game really decided for them to actually push this game back, these people would fight against it even more, because that means they're putting more time away in this game, more time away from their families and stuff. So us saying that we're upset about it, definitely understand it. That is something that everybody as a gamer, every game, somebody's had a game that's been delayed that they really looking forward to, and it just happens. Ultimately, it just comes down to just being patient about games and knowing that, hey, we're talking about intellectual properties. We're talking about people's livelihoods and the things that it's like art, the things that they make and they give to us. And we're not the ones that can literally sit here and say, like, why are you delaying this game? We don't know why it's being delayed. We just know that it's something we want. And normally when it's something you want, you got to wait for it. And good things come to those who wait. And Days Gone is probably going to be better for this delay. It's not going to say the game's going to be any better than it was before. But trust me, more time that you spend perfecting your craft is always a good thing.
Cool. No, for sure. So before I jump on to Zocker, I know we were just talking about games being delayed now. I know Zocker, he's been freaking knee deep in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Remember, guys, Assassin's Creed took a year break from the actual story, and then we got Origins after that break. I believe it was Origins, right?
Yeah.
After the break. So think about it. We may not have an Odyssey in the form that it is today if they do not take that break. So delays, breaks, things like that, they can be a huge benefit. So I just wanted to get that out the way before I got over to you, Zucker. But what do you think about the Days Gone? Now, first, I want to know: were you even looking forward to the game first place? Were you thinking about buying it? And then also, what do you think about the delay?
I'm honestly, Days Gone is a wait for deep discount for me. Unless it like absolutely surprises everybody and it's like an amazing game that everybody's like, you need to play. But for me, I'm not like a huge zombie guy. Like, I enjoy zombie games, it's cool, but I was in a wait and see. And then not to mention the hour long I saw from the Game Informer before E3 just didn't impress me at all. Like the first reveal of it where he's in that like wood yard and he's like running, that was legit. I was like, man, this looks really good. But then it's just gotten worse and worse every time I've seen more of it. And it just it's not sustainable to me. I'm kind of like, all right, I'm going to give it a wait and see. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to wait. But as for the delay and the topic of it being delayed, it's good. I mean, anytime a game gets delayed, cool. I'm fine with it. Like, I'm not going to get mad. I don't get why people get mad. I'll go in the movie industry. I wished Warner Brothers delayed Justice League so they could finish up the CGI and finish up all this. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I wish they did too.
I know, but there's a lot of things behind the scenes. Apparently, like, a lot of the executives would have lost out on millions for themselves with bonuses. But that's off topic. That's just like corruption, little stupid shit. But what I'm saying is that it's a good thing when it delays. And then not to mention, man, look how many games we have to play until it comes out. Like honestly, like just look at everything. Even next year, like the beginning of next year is one of the most stacked I've seen ever for a spring.
Yeah.
Like it's just so many games, and it's like, you know what? Delay it. Like make it better, perfect it for us. Let us get a nice experience from it. Maybe it'll help its ratings. Maybe it'll help the developers get more, like less stress, because you know they're like, all right, we got 2 more months to work on this, or 3 more months, whatever. It's fine. Delay it. I don't care if Crackdown gets delayed again. I don't care. Just make sure the game, when you bring it out, is ready to go. And that's all I'm saying. Like, you know, and one of the biggest ones I saw that wasn't ready was State of Decay 2. That had a lot of problems, and it just, you know, it got heat for it. And people love that game, but it did in the beginning. Like the first week, they had a huge, like, what was it, like 30 gig patch come out that fixed shit.
Well, another game as well that completely flipped its shit, like completely did a complete 180 was, remember, Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
As well, and that completely did a 100% 180, and now it's probably, if not the most, one of the most played like online games currently.
Yeah,
so,
and that's what Ubisoft did, right? They had Rainbow Six Siege and they had Division, and those games were not well received when they came out, and they updated it over a year to a year and a half and made it better. And that's the way you have to do it. And now look at Ubisoft; they're releasing. I haven't played Far Cry 5, but I know people that love it. And then you look at Origins and you look at Odyssey, like they're killing it, and they're bringing out clean games. And they took the time to do that. That year off you were talking about, just taking time to make the game better for us is just, why wouldn't you fucking do that? Like, why wouldn't you do that for us? And like, you're going to get the money. It's going to pay off.
Yeah. The one thing that I would say is when it comes to a delay, there's one game in particular that I wish would have got delayed. It was nothing wrong with the game, but it came out the wrong time, and that was Titanfall 2. The game was like that game.
Yeah,
it was a great tragedy what EA did to that game. And I have my own theories on why that game came out when it did, and it has something to do with why EA ended up buying the developer. You know, I think a lot of that has something to do with it. But that just lets you know, a game that was perfectly fine when it released, being released during the time it got released, is what hurt that game. If that game would have got pushed to the summer like Titanfall 1 did when it came out in May on just Xbox, that game would have been so much better, just because the player base would have been there for that game. So games don't get delayed just because there's problems. Sometimes a game just needs to be delayed just so it gets out of the way of other games. Call of Duty actually didn't get delayed. They moved their schedule up just to get away from Red Dead Redemption. We don't want to be after this game. We want to be before it.
Yeah, I think that's what Crackdown did too. I think Microsoft looked and was just like, you know what, fuck this. We're gonna go February.
We're going February.
Like, it's all good. We're fine. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, absolutely. I 100% agree. I think that's one thing that people look at, and you know, there's always two sides to that discussion. You know, we've seen a lot of games over time that come out and don't live up to the billing. You know, you got things like The Last Guardian, you know, which is something that like comes along and it's delayed so goddamn long that it's like a unicorn at that point. Then it comes out and you don't really get much of an upgrade. It doesn't feel like it was much of a, you know, difference, you know, after all that time. But then again, you get things like Assassin's Creed, who greatly benefit from it. I mean, that franchise, are we all in agreement that thing was going in a complete wrong direction? Assassin's Creed at the point that
I didn't play Assassin's Creed for years until Origins, and I was like, and I even got Origins for half off, and I was like, I'll check it out. And then I was like, wow, I really like it. And now Odyssey, I mean, it's just so damn good.
Assassin's Creed wasn't going in a wrong direction; it was going in a boring direction. Now they
finally realized that the goddamn game is an actual fucking RPG as well. It works,
right?
You can market it that way. So the added benefit of them throwing in the RPG elements. I put a poll out recently on Twitter saying, is that the biggest reason why Assassin's Creed Odyssey is being held as the best Assassin's Creed Odyssey? And I think that a majority of people, I think, said, that was the biggest reason that they focused more on the RPG aspect and upgrading and just all this little cool shit. They built a world where Assassin's Creed always had like dynamic places and great locales and, you know, like, you know, a lot of different places to go and huge maps and things like that. But the added puzzles and all that cool shit, you know, it's just something that I think the franchise needed, and you wouldn't have gotten that if they wouldn't have took that year break. So
Yeah.
cool, cool. So we got one more topic. I think we got a little bit of time to throw in some, or maybe even take questions for you guys too in the chat watching. Once again, as you file in here, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button there. It helps the actual video and podcast be seen. So last one. This is a good one, guys. I have asked this question on the podcast before in the past. So it was like a millennia ago, probably like a year or two ago that I asked this question. So this is definitely to you guys here in the chat as well. So what or who is on your gaming Mount Rushmore? So Mount Rushmore has 4 faces on it, right?
Mhm.
So we need 4 gaming figures on Mount Rushmore. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Fuzzy. We'll go ahead and start with you on this one, Fuzzy.
Forza Horizon 3,
Forza-
Forza Horizon 4, Forza 6.
Does a car count? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, Fuzz.
Forza A-Spec.
No, for right now, I would just say Forza as a series. I know it's not really a face to go up there, but if we could put like probably the most iconic car would be like either a Ferrari or Porsche to put up there for one of them. There's no main character in the Division. For me, Division was one of the other pillars because I played that thing for a year straight, doing fans and butts about it. Let's see. For the other two, I would have to say for right now, I'm gonna say my main character from Saints Row. I would normally say Grand Theft Auto, but there have been times where I didn't really care for Grand Theft Auto. So Grand Theft Auto 5 was great. Grand Theft Auto 4 was great. San Andreas, I never really got to play. I wish they would do a graphic update and make it kind of like with Grand Theft Auto 5's graphics. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 and the very first one, they were fine, but they were, I guess, for the time being 3D graphics. That was the big thing at that point. But my main character, which is the character you can create for Saints Row, I would say would be my third one. Fourth one, that's going to be tough.
You want to take a minute?
Yeah, for my fourth one, come back to me on my fourth one because it's probably going to either be a vehicle or like another character I can create type of thing.
It's going to be an Apache.
I know, right? All right, so Zocker, man, it's on you, brother. Your gaming Mount Rushmore, man. 4 figures.
Are you talking games or are you talking characters?
Character, sorry.
Okay, characters. Okay, so if I can get all of StarCraft's characters in there, Sarah Kerrigan, Jim Raynor, Artanis, all those guys in there, I would, but I'm going to put them as one, so they're morphed together in faces. Okay. So those are like StarCraft is my favorite game of all time. Like I freaking love it. So that is up there. And then I have to go Marcus Phoenix because I love Gears of War.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Like I legitimately love it. And then of course Master Chief.
Okay, that's yeah.
And then this is gonna be a little shocking. I'm gonna have to put Assassin's Creed Odyssey up there.
Oh,
and I'm telling you, like, there's not been a game this like since Sea of Thieves was multiplayer, right? I like killing people. I like fighting people. But this single-player game has, like, completely enamored me and just taken over where the point where I don't want it to end. And I absolutely love, I love the main characters. Alexios is actually badass. I enjoy it. So I'm throwing it up there because I'm having so much fun with the game. Like, everybody's talking about, like, oh, I need to be this level to play that. Man, I was level 50 maxed out. And I was in act like 4 or 5 or 6, and there's 9 acts. Like I've done everything in the game, and there's so much more to do. Like and it's the first game I'm going to be buying the DLC for like happily. So yeah, that's my Rushmore. But StarCraft is number 1 for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So it's on you, Forte, man. What do you got, brother?
Oh man, so not in any particular order. Mega Man. I am a huge Mega Man fan.
Okay.
I love Mega Man 2. It's my favorite one of all time. So Mega Man is one of them. Of course, Master Chief, because Halo 2 is by far my favorite Halo game of all time. Halo 3 is a close second. A lot of people probably gonna think I say Destiny, but I'm not, because as much as I love that game has flaws, and it can't be on my Mount Rushmore. Plus, my Guardian doesn't have a name; it just has a. So I really can't. I can say Cade, but that wouldn't be right. So it wouldn't be that one. But I will say another one would be Witcher 3. So Geralt would be up there, because that is by far my favorite game that's come out this generation is Witcher 3. So that would be up there. Plus, I love Witcher 2, and I played them all. I played Witcher 1 on PC, Witcher 2 on console on 360. That was pretty amazing. And my fourth game, I fight with, man. I love Infinite War, the first Call of Duty 4. Soap McIntosh, that was my man in that one. Ghost, that was my man in that one. But then I also fight with the fact that I also really, really enjoyed Mass Effect 2. If I had to pick, Shepard would probably be my favorite character of all time when it comes to just Mass Effect in general. That is by far my favorite franchise. That's my favorite game of all time, Mass Effect 2. So if I had to put the bigger face up there, it would be a picture of Shepard. That would be my 4 people on front. So I would say Shepard, I would say Master Chief, Mega Man, and Geralt from Witcher 3, and that would be my definitive Mount Rushmore.
Okay, cool. So I guess it's my turn to go. We're gonna let Fuzzy marinate over there for a little bit so he can get it out. But so for me, I mean, obviously Master Chief is one. Such an iconic figure, he's probably Halo. The first Halo was probably the reason why I'm a big Xbox fan here today. It just left such a huge impression on me. It was one of the games that sat me down. Like, I literally sat down for that game. Like, and I didn't do anything else. Like, literally just sat down. So I mean, that
just sat down and played for 12 hours.
Just sat down and played. It blew me away. Had me just stuck. I couldn't do anything else. Now, if you guys didn't know, if you guys are new here and you didn't know, Zelda is my favorite game ever. Well, Zelda Ocarina of Time is my favorite game of all time ever. It doesn't matter what console, Xbox or not, that's my favorite game ever. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a link up there just because that is my favorite game ever. I could play that game all day, every day. So the third, this is kind of tough. I think I'm gonna throw Sonic in there as well. Sonic is low key, man. Back in the day when before this PS4, Xbox, and back and forth, that was the original console war, man. That was Sonic or Mario. That's what you used to argue about on the playground. And whoever had Sega, you had a Super Nintendo, and oh no, Mortal Kombat actually has red blood on my actual game. Yours has green blood. You know what I'm saying?
I want a chili dog.
Yeah. That kind of stuff. So that left a huge impression on me as well. So Sonic, for sure, got in a lot of tussles in the sandbox over that damn person or over that damn character. 4, man, that's tough. Who do I want to throw in there at 4?
You and Fuzzy.
Yeah, him.
And you came up with this topic.
I came up with it.
You came up with the topic. You should have already had this answer in your head.
And the bad part is, I was actually thinking Sonic for the last one, so now it's like
you can pick him.
You can still do Sonic. Yeah, you can still do Sonic. But oh wow. Okay. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna go Liu Kang, Mortal Kombat. Since I was just mentioning Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang, I remember after school in junior high, going to the donut shop across the street from the junior high, playing Mortal Kombat, and it was a line every day after school. Everybody had a pocket full of change, getting ice cream and donuts, and it just left a huge memory of mine. The game was phenomenal. It changed fighters, for an entire generation. So I think that he would go up there as well. So he was probably my favorite character outside of like Raiden. For the original series. So I think Liu Kang is going to be up there for me. So Fuzz, it's on you, man. Number 4.
I was thinking Sonic, but considering just like what you playing Mortal Kombat, I would have to say Ryu for Street Fighter, because Street Fighter's probably been a majority of my childhood and even my adulthood in gaming as far as fighting games. I really wish Xbox could get, Street Fighter 5, or maybe if they ever make a 6, I hope Xbox gets a copy. But yeah, I'm gonna lean Ryu just because I've spent so many quarters and have had Street Fighter on so many systems that and it's not that he's what's his name? The one that looks like Bruce Lee, Fei Long. Actually, Fei Long would probably he would be the one that would be on Mount Rushmore instead of Ryu, because I've used him way more ever since I think they had him on what was it, like Street Fighter 4 Turbo or something along those lines, or Street Fighter 3, I think it was, when they first introduced him. Fei Long would be the one for the Mount Rushmore, because hours and hours console, just so much time playing that game.
Oh man, when you think about fighters, man, that's a completely different Mount Rushmore right there. Because my fighter is, I love Tekken, and I own Tekken. What is it, Tekken 7? I own Tekken 7, and haven't played a lick of it. Just for the simple fact they took one character and didn't put them in the base game, and that was Lei Long. They finally added him in Season 2 DLC, which I will be purchasing, and I will be enjoying that game, because that is my guy, and that's the only character I play with in that game. So he would be my fighting game Mount Rushmore, because him and Yoshimitsu, man, can't get over those two characters in that game.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Yoshimitsu was a shit, man. I used to love that guy.
I bet going to the arcade, dude. I put life savings in the arcade playing Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Tekken 4. Tekken Tag just changed it all.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, that game was so fun, so fun. So I think we're gonna do something different to close the show. We're gonna go ahead and take one question before we close the show from the chat here. So if any of you guys right now have any questions, go ahead and let us know. I will take one from the chat, and we'll go ahead and ask the panel. We'll answer it. Then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Once again, if it's your first time here, please drop a like on the video. If you're here right now, helps the podcast be seen. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, down in the description below is going to be all these gentlemen's Twitter accounts. So follow them on Twitter. So anybody have any questions? So let's go ahead and see if anybody's going to drop anything.
Well, while we're waiting for a question, if one comes up, I'm going to say that runner-up for me would be Kratos and Nathan Drake on my Mount Rushmore.
Okay. I actually was debating. Kratos was he's honorable.
Kratos was close.
Right there for me, because I'm a huge God of War fan. So
Kratos was close. It's just the fact that Witcher was just so memorable. And the fact, and I have to get through Odyssey. I have to play it, because I'm starting to hear some blasphemy, and I can't say that they're wrong, because there's so many people saying that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is getting real close to that Witcher level, and I can't believe that. But if it's
true, talk to Dealer, dude. Talk to Dealer.
No, man. I heard that's why I say Dealer's on some. He's on that ooh-wee right now. I was like,
man, me and him are in chat. Me and him are in chat every fucking day, almost every night.
I know. I be seeing y'all.
And it's just like, we can't get it. We're like, oh, did you do this shit? No, I don't fucking say anything. Don't spoil it, you bitch. And just like, it's just
that exactly sounds like Dealer says. Don't you say shit, you bitch.
So it looks like we got a couple questions that came in. So shout out to everybody that dropped the questions. Shansu, Gold Lion, Fonzarelli. I am go ahead and just grab, I guess, one. So which one do you guys want to answer?
When did y'all start? I like when did y'all start gaming? Since we're kind of in the Mount Rushmore nostalgia. Okay,
go ahead. You can start us up.
I started gaming obviously back on like the NES and Super Nintendo, and I would just play, here and there. But the first game that really got me where I was like, I'm going to be playing games for the rest of my life was StarCraft on the N64. And I remember it came out on that. I saw like a commercial for it, and I was like, I want to fight with big ass armies. That looks awesome. And that game literally just started my life of gaming. Just staying home, playing games. And I built a computer to play StarCraft on it. Like when I was a kid, I saved up money, and I built a computer when I was like 10 or 11 years old. Like I just worked at my restaurant, got tips. And after like 10 months, I built a computer, bought StarCraft, and just like literally played like crazy. So that was the first thing that really got me into gaming was StarCraft. And that's why it's my, my number one.
Cool, cool. I guess I go. For me, it was like I said when I was talking about the round version war was Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think for me that was the first game that really just it. Me and my cousin literally would just sit and play the game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I almost, I mean, every day after school, I was running in my cousin's house. I'd hurry up and do my homework as quickly as I could, run to his house every single day just to get my hands on that damn game. And I played it over and over and over and over and over again. Beat it so many times till I couldn't even beat it anymore. Like it was that enthralling to me. So that was when I knew that I fell in love with video games and the Sega Genesis and everything. Obviously, sooner than that, I was a big Sonic fan. I told you guys before. Sonic was another one that was kind of a big deal for me. Sonic 2, I believe it was kind of a big deal for me. So for me, that's kind of where it all started. Sega, then you got the 64 with the Zelda Ocarina of Time. Then it kind of evolved. Halo was the next, I think, big moment. Like, oh, that it was like kind of like that eureka moment that you have every now and then in gaming. Every few years, like, oh shit, this is different. This is like game changing. So Halo was that next step for me. So Forte, it's on you, bro.
All right, so man, so like most people, I started gaming Atari 2600, but that's not when I fell in love with games. I remember being 8, 9 years old, playing. Like I said, Mega Man 2 was one of my favorite games. Playing games like Mega Man, playing Contra, playing Life Force, playing games like that, Duck Hunt with my little brother. Those were really fun times for me. I officially knew I was a gamer because growing up, I played sports. I was in high school. I was always playing varsity and every damn thing. So I really didn't get a chance to play games as much as I wanted to until I graduated high school and got to college. So when Halo finally released is when I really knew I was a true gamer. But even before then, it was more games like on my PC, playing God Simulator games like White and Black or Star Trek Armada, because I was really into RTSs back then. That's when Halo was supposed to be a RTS, and it got bought up by Microsoft from Apple, and that's what made me love Halo at first, because it was going to be a real-time strategy game. And then it got switched over to a first-person shooter game. So my roots came from being a person that loved to play RTSs. I have every StarCraft game, just like Zalker. I love StarCraft. I play ladder games with my friends, so I got to get you on my list so we can go at it. But it's amazing, and that's where it all started for me. And then it just progressed more. I'm damn near, I hate to say it, 37 years old, dude. It's amazing the amount of things and experiences that I got from just playing games and meeting cool people in the community. Gaming put us all in this podcast together. People like,
pretty much.
People like Fonz in the chat and everybody else, King James, everybody down there. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, pretty much. So Fuzzy, it's on you, bro. Where'd you get your start?
Man, I would say watching my sister play Atari 2600. The cheesy like 8-bit pixel games for a while, and then playing Pac-Man. Had the little portable, the one that looks like Pac-Man, and then the one that looked like a little mini arcade. But the games for me that really caught my attention, and I knew that was what I wanted to do for fun, was Tempest in the arcade, Karate Champ in the arcade, and then like Kung Fu Master in the arcade. Those were the beginnings of like the fighting games and like a space, 3D reality type of game, even though Tempest was just basically lines. But after that, got my ColecoVision, and Zaxxon was like a big thing for me for a while. Like, I played Donkey Kong on it, but Zaxxon was the main thing. After that, got what do you call them? An Aquarius computer. Then I got my Commodore 128. On the Commodore 128, Flight Simulator became a thing, I think, at that point. And there were a couple other games, but when I got my first system, Sega Master System, Shinobi, that was huge for me back then.
Nice.
And always loved Daytona in the arcade, Outrun in the arcade, and Afterburner in the arcade. And yeah, they didn't look quite that well or close on the Master System. Genesis definitely got it a lot closer. And I think the Saturn got even closer than that, but that's when I bailed on Sega at that point. But Sega was my go-to. Sonic was always a game. Any of the Sonic games I had, or during that time frame, I I wound up buying those for my Genesis or for the Saturn and stuff. But
Nice.
also had the 32X and the Sega CD. Joe Montana Football.
Oh,
Man.
my
Hey,
God.
that was my shit on
Yeah,
Sega.
that was dog. The first time you started talking in the game was
Oh,
freaking
man.
incredible.
All I did was fake punt.
Yeah.
Yup, fake
All
punt.
I did was fake punt.
Yeah,
Yo.
that game. I mean, yeah, Madden's great now, but I swear to you, like what we see today is like how Madden felt or Joe Montana felt back then. It was like groundbreaking. And like Techno Bowl, type of like top view, side view type of thing was okay, but when Joe Montana Football came out, man, oh,
Yeah, that was next level.
Sports talk football. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep. That was the one. That was the one. So I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up, everybody, on that one. So we just want to go ahead and thank everybody here that's here now watching live. You guys have been amazing. The chat was lit today. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. We will be getting to the panel here soon. I just want to let everybody know here that we're going to have some things coming up, man. I've been cooking up. Sorry about not really dropping any videos pretty much all week. It's the week of my son's birthday, so I've been super busy. So shout out to my son. If you guys can wish him a happy birthday on Twitter, that would be awesome. That's him in the background. But anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and let the panel shout themselves out. So we're gonna start with you, Fuzzy. Let everybody know where they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter, Xbox Live or PSN, Fuzzy Space Belvedere or Fuzzy_Belvedere. Usually playing Forza as usual, but Red Dead's coming, so go from a lot of horsepower to single horsepower here soon. So see you out there on the trail.
I do have a question for you, Fuzzy. How often do you fall asleep with your stream up?
Quite a bit, unfortunately. It's one of those things where it's like
I always see him on, but I never see him doing anything.
Never. He just sits there. His car just be showing a 360-degree view of it. I went into his chat one time. Was like, "What's up, Fuzzy? How you doing?" And I was sat there. I was like, "Oh, this dude fell asleep."
Yeah.
He fought dedicated
My
to the
bad.
end.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Were you done, Fuzz, or was that it, or what?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, so go ahead and shout yourself out, Forte, man. Let everybody know they can find you.
Yo, man, great show as always, man. Love being here with these three guys. They make it entertaining and fun, man. First of all, you can find me on Twitter at gaming_Forte. You also can find me at Gaming Forte on Twitter. Next week, I will not be here. Unfortunately, I will be in the Caribbean because I am going on a cruise with my beautiful wife. This is something we set up a year ago. Right when the weather in Michigan turns bad, I get to leave it for a week. So looking forward to that. But I do, if you guys do go to the channel, I do have about 5 or 6 videos that are going to queue up each day throughout the week. So there will be stuff for you guys to see. Definitely some Destiny content. Other than that, talking about all this other stuff going on in the Xbox community too. So check that stuff out and appreciate you guys always coming to the show. And once again, Bland, thanks for the invite.
Not a problem, man. Thank you for coming and stopping in today, man. Congrats on the trip, brother. You go ahead and get your Tay Diggs on down there in the behind.
I ain't trying to have no more kids, bro. No more kids, bro. Already got 2. No more.
Man, you already know what's going on, man. So go ahead and shout yourself out, Zalker, man. Let everybody know they can find you.
Well, what's up, everybody? You guys can find me on Twitter at Shocked87. And, of course, go to my YouTube channel. I try to put content out, Zalker87, ZALKER87. Go check it out. And, I'm glad to be on here. It's always fun. Makes my Saturday night that much better. Talking to everybody in the chat. You guys have been awesome. And let's go enjoy our goddamn games, everyone.
Let's get it. And last but not least, your boy PTK Blam. Holla at your boy. Please thank you guys for coming on the show. You guys are amazing. Follow me on Twitter at PTK Blam. On Xbox Live with PTK Blam as well if you guys want to play games at any point in time. Thank you guys. If you're once again your first time here, drop a like, subscribe. More content, more lit ass shows next week, same place, same time, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your week, and everybody, we are out of here. Take it easy.
Later, everybody.
Guys.
Later.